No.
Should be higher. We're live.
Did you see that finger look? Because if I point it up, but then. Hi. Oh, she remembers me. Yes. Awesome. So apparently, if you see a baby within 12 hours, they remember who you are. She remembered who I was, and then she thought about it, and then she started to cry a little bit. Yesterday we had a barbecue at my house
For your mama?
for my mama's birthday. 29 years old. Ooh, look at that. Wait. Wait, yep. Nope. Nope.
Are you trying to work on forced perspective?
Working on it. Dude, we could be as heralded as Lord of the Rings, don't you think?
The kings of forced perspective? Didn't they use a lot of that in Harry Potter?
Maybe, but I mean,
With
did
the
they?
dude?
Oh, with Hagrid, I'm sure.
Hagrid and Warwick Davis as like 300 different
He is, yeah.
characters in it.
How crazy, right? Oh, we only need one midget to play all the midget parts. God, so insensitive.
Well, when he's the best.
If you're the best midget, I would want the best one. That may be an unpopular opinion, but I don't want a mediocre midget.
So we're going live today because I was getting some angry emails from one of our many fan about how she can't go another Monday without her hand job in the Boneman fix.
So she can't wait the
So
8 hours it would take you
to upload it. So I figured, and it's just easier this way a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you have to work other Mondays.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's a lot of Mondays off though. So.
Not a lot of them. I mean, how many Jeffersons are there?
Well, we got Columbus Day, and then you got Veterans Day,
And you got Labor Camp Day,
which is today.
That's today. For all the people in labor camps, and then, right? Palmia, is that right? Did I read that right?
Yeah, Amelia thinks so. Yeah.
Prisoners of war.
So we're coming at you
Live. Teeth unbrushed. For me, not even, I don't know, probably. Me, unbrushed.
It works.
So just brought up a second ago that the Bears last preseason game.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV at all, so then I don't catch. Usually there's that thing where you're like, oh, football's coming out again.
Yeah.
So how was it? Anything did you watch?
I watched maybe 5 minutes of one game.
But not the last one.
Not the last one. But the Bears rookie quarterback threw like a touchdown. The time I watched, so like the 15 minutes I watched, in that 15 minutes
he threw like
it was like a 60-yard touchdown.
No,
so, yeah.
What? So everyone went apeshit crazy.
Well, it's also because the Bears got John Glennon, some kind of Glennon from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's supposed to be the starting quarterback.
That's the redhead or the other
guy? Yeah, I guess he's redhead.
Glennon, yeah, he's like a balding redhead.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be the number one guy, but then the Bears like traded up to get the number 2 pick in the draft, and then picked Trubisky, who's been really good, and so now there's this quarterback controversy. So like Trubisky like started the last game, but the last preseason game is the starters like don't even play.
Right, sure.
And then people were mad because the Bears coaching staff just had him hand the ball off the entire game, and they lost like 25-0 to the Browns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's what I saw. I saw the score and the Browns, but preseason, you don't know. Yeah. Sometimes they just like throw the game intentionally just to see.
Some teams go 3-0 or 4-0 in preseason, and then like don't win a single regular season game. Detroit Lions, and then.
Dude, those people, they go, we got to figure it out, I think. You know what? Take the week off. Game 1 next Sunday.
Exactly. And then there's some teams that go 0-4 and they win the Super Bowl.
The really bad teams try to win all the preseason games to bolster enthusiasm for the upcoming.
Which is probably why the Browns tried to run up the score.
Yeah.
Last preseason game doesn't matter.
They have to when they can.
Right.
Browns.
I'd hate to live in Cleveland.
Everyone hates living in Cleveland. The guy I worked with, I used to work at a frozen pizza factory. The guy I worked with there, he's an old guy, like 65 by now, and he moved to Cleveland to be like a locksmith because his wife worked at the hospital there. I don't know, man. He was like going to look at apartments. He's like, yeah, we ended up in some areas that were not nice at all. It's like, yeah, dude. Well, I don't know. I've only driven through there in a truck. I don't even know.
I told you that story about we went on me and my dad, because we did this road trip. This road trip. It was a pretty memorable road trip just because there are a lot of things that happened on it that, like, only, like, me and Kelly really laugh at it because it's just making fun of my dad.
You, Kelly, your dad?
No, it was just me and my dad.
Oh, okay.
And we went on this Hall of Fame road trip. So the first stop was Ohio, because we went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But my dad also, I guess there's like this train that you can take that takes you to this area.
Hogwarts?
Yeah, Hogwarts. The Hogwarts of Cleveland. I guess it's like really naturey and whatever. And I guess my dad didn't set the alarm right or something, and we missed it. So we got there and they're like, oh, you're too late, and we only do this like once a day because it's literally a whole day train ride around us.
Jesus.
And they're like, but we could give you this tour, like we can put you on this tour. It's gonna leave in an hour or whatever. And it was a bus tour of downtown Cleveland.
Ooh, a Greyhound bus tour.
No, it was like, like an open bus, kind of like a tour bus kind of thing. And so we're on it, and the tour guide is kind of asking everybody, oh, where are you from? And people are like, oh, we're from Saskatchewan, and oh, we're from Oshkosh, and and then they get to us, and we're from Chicago, and then she kind of like stops. She's like, wait, you're like from a real city. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Chicago.
But yeah, that was. I think that was when. I think in Cleveland we went to like a Mexican restaurant somewhere, and I asked my dad like what he was gonna get, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the fajitas." And then when the waiter comes and we order, he's like, "I'm gonna have the Fijatas." And like me and Kelly, oh my god, it's hilarious.
Did he embellish like that? He's like,
I feel like he did.
right, because I can see him kind of say like fajitas, like to the
Fijatas. And then I'm like, and we both. I think the guy knew what he meant, so he kind of just like went on with his.
Fijatas.
But then later in the trip, I forget where we were. We went to another Mexican restaurant because this was like a 2-week road trip. So, you know, we're eating out a lot,
eternally.
right? So we go to a different Mexican restaurant somewhere later in the vacation, and I asked my dad what he's gonna get, and he says, you know, I think I'm gonna get the. For continuity's sake, I think he says fajitas again, and so now I'm like waiting to see what he says, and then he goes, "I'm gonna have the chicken enchiladas," and I'm like, and I asked him afterwards, I'm like, "Did you order the right thing?" He's like, "Yeah, I changed my mind last second." And I was like, "Okay, at least you changed your mind. At least you knew what you were saying."
I'll have the enchiladas, please.
But it's like, oh, I'm gonna have tacos, and then you're like, okay, and then I'll have the chicken enchiladas. I'm like, are you sure? And like
That
at this
was
point,
funny.
it's like, is he just saying anything Spanish sounding? Because he
Just
knows
to get
it's
out
all.
of the transaction.
Because
as
then he
fast
knows
as possible.
he's gonna get whatever he gets, he'll eat. You know, because it's all tortilla, meat, cheese, sour cream, like, you know, like,
Beans.
yeah.
Right.
Because he knows it's all pretty much the same thing, so he doesn't really care what he says. But it was pretty interesting. I remember coming back and telling Kelly that story, and she was just like on the floor laughing because it's like,
That's fucking funny. I was not expecting enchiladas at the end. I thought I heard you. I had heard something like Fijatas before. You might have told me that a long time ago, that story. But then I thought there was some sort of Fajita like offshoot. But then it was just, that would be a major.
yeah,
Fijatas I can understand. That's just the
he got the vowel
dyslexic
around
with the
with the vowels.
with the syllables. We're upside down.
Well, we were. If anybody's if anybody's watching this live and could tell us,
Because our live
can
is
you watch
upside
this
down.
live and tell us if we're upside down or not,
Oh,
or the Boneman?
hold on.
We are.
That's gonna fuck him up. It's gonna be upside down, upside down. Oh no, wait, I'm not watching it. Yes! The turnaround! Oh!
Well, now they got to watch hear that story from a new perspective.
Alright, since we turned around, I've been hot for a while. I'm gonna get naked, everyone. Commercial break.
But yeah, that was a pretty interesting road trip. I remember we were driving in Massachusetts. We were going to the Basketball Hall of Fame,
Okay.
and so the Basketball Hall of Fame isn't pro; it's just all encompassing. So world basketball, college basketball, And it has a lot of interactive stuff. So like they literally have a room where all it is just a bunch of basketball hoops and crap loads of balls and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds fun.
And then they go away. And so that was fun, but we also went to Cooperstown, which is in New York. And so we stayed somewhere in upstate New York that's like midway between Springfield, Mass and Cooperstown. Okay. So we're driving. So today's basketball day. So we're driving, and then as soon as we got to the Massachusetts border, just a wall of water, like rain, but it's like sheets of water just coming down. We're like, what the?
I hate basketball.
And then we get to the place, and it's like sunny and crazy, but it was just like for 20 minutes you thought you were gonna die because you couldn't see like an inch in front of you.
Okay, so I wanted to back up when I got a chance. Cleveland, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Pro Football Hall of Fame. Okay, did you go to Rock and Roll?
Yes.
What was that like? Recap. Give me a quick synopsis.
It's okay.
What was anything cool that stuck
I mean,
out?
it's like a lot of. It's kind of like Madame Tussauds wax museum, except without the wax
so it's
figures.
Just like a lot of old stuff.
It's like a lot of.
'Cause I've never been in the wax museum either. I know what it is, but
so think of like think of the fact if there's a Prince wax dummy, right? They're gonna put certain clothes on it. Okay, well, take away the actual dummy and just have like a mannequin with the clothes like a guitar, and it says like Prince and stuff. So that's a lot of what it was like. There was a lot of just like walking around and looking at artifacts.
For sure. Okay.
They had like a steel drum band, like a middle school steel drum band playing in like their foyer, just for fun, I guess. But it's okay. I mean, it is a museum. It's like it's just because it says Hall of Fame, like people think it's gonna be better, but
but that's just advertising people.
And I mean, it was around the time too when they were doing, like here in Chicago, they were doing the painted cows. Remember that?
Right. That was like in high school.
Yeah, and so Cleveland was doing guitars, Fender Strats, like that. So like there were maybe 30 in front of the Hall of Fame.
So, rock and roll and football.
Pro football.
How was football?
It was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Hodge.
That was.
What year was this again?
2004.
Do you think that? I think football has gotten way more mainstream since 2004. Do you think
has.
They might have upgraded their?
I think they've upgraded. I know they upgraded the stadium because like one of the things we did was the first preseason game for the entire season is the Hall of Fame game. So when the guys get inducted, they pick two of the teams that, because there's probably like 6 or 7 guys, but like 2 of the teams will play each other in this Hall of Fame game. And it's their first. Okay. It's their first preseason game. So we went to that. The stadium was like, it looked like a high school stadium,
And that wasn't cool to see professionals play that?
It looked like Tech Stadium or something. No, we did. We watched the game. Yeah. But it was just like, it wasn't that great. No. And then
Tech.
And then the museum itself is a lot of just like bronze busts. And there wasn't a lot of interactive stuff at all, pretty much. I mean, Cooperstown is boring because, again, it's just like, here's Babe Ruth's bust. Here's,
Yeah. How much of that can you do?
But it's also like, there's an old-timey stadium, that's kind of cool. If you watch League of Their Own, I think the stadium that one of the stadiums that they play in, either like the championship game or the one where when they're old.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. It's cool. And then the whole town, like the main drag to the museum and everything is still pretty old timey, like it was from like the 20s or something like that. So that's cool. Like at least you can experience that kind of stuff. The Basketball Hall of Fame had a lot of interactive stuff because it was like,
that sounds fun.
It seems more newer, like, and I feel like also like things like, because in the 90s basketball was so huge, like they just like were able to put a lot of money in it. The Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto was also like really interactive. You could pretend like you were in the booth and picking like where the like trying to follow the puck and like so that people could broadcast, So like that kind of stuff was fun, and I think more things like that should be at these things. But a lot of them had like a a museum vibe to it.
So wait, okay, yeah. So what's in Toronto then? It's called the Hockey Hall of Fame. What does it encompass?
I think it's just NHL.
Okay, interesting.
But NHL still is very broad because they have all the Canadian teams and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think there's as much international. I think all of them except basketball were like NHL, NFL.
Yeah, the main professional.
MLB, right?
Right, yeah.
But for whatever reason, basketball was just Basketball Hall of Fame. Like,
yeah, interesting.
Like the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame, because there's a College Football Hall of Fame too in Ohio, I think, but we didn't go to that because I don't know. I guess my dad didn't think that would be interesting. I mean, I guess to see all the Heisman winners or whatever.
Maybe that would be the only thing. And you really only care about the dude in college if he becomes a professional who's awesome, and then you're like, and back in college. But if he never makes it to professional, then it's like, he was awesome in college. You ever hear of this dude? He never played on TV once.
Isn't that what a lot of the 30 for 30s are, though?
I don't know. I haven't watched enough of them.
There's like the Boz or whatever. He was like
the flat top sunglass
and
guy.
He was like amazing at Oklahoma, and then he got
I will break you
drafted. He looks like he does look like and he gets drafted by the Seahawks, and then like some running back just like bulldozed over him.
Is that what happened
at the end zone? And like he was never the same after that.
What did it break on him?
His soul.
Oh man!
But yeah,
so your spirit is in one of your fucking spinal. It's in one of those, I'm sure, dude. And how long was he in the league, that guy?
I think maybe like 1 or 2 years.
And then he just got crack-a-lacked. It was never the same, huh?
Or like that one quarterback.
That's beautiful.
His dad like tied his right arm behind his back so he would have to be left-handed, and like. He was called like Robo QB or something. His dad was like put him on a special diet, and like, but he was really good at USC or wherever he was at. And then the Raiders drafted him, and he just was like, I just want to surf and do drugs.
No shit. That's how a lot of people become when they're tightly regulated as children.
Yeah,
because that shit's terrible. Kids in Thailand are eating chilies, right?
It's true though. You got to think about it. Like Thai food is spicy as hell.
Right.
So
agreeable.
You got to be training them young to endure. Eating Thai food is an endurance sport. Like. So.
Eating Thai food is an endurance sport.
Yeah. And
then that was it. That was you.
That was it.
I like that.
That's why you gotta train.
You stopped. Any more analysis would have been too far. Shit. What were we talking about right before that? Because that was not Thailand. Oh, the 30 for 30s. They all involve, I feel like, that moment of the crushing of your spirit and the devil, don't they? Like, aren't they all pretty goddamn sad, those things? I don't know, everyone I've seen seems to be like, whoa, heavy.
Sad? Yeah, I mean, they're... I mean,
so
the Shaq and Penny one isn't
well, I didn't get
sad.
to see those. I don't think Shaq has ever cried in his life.
The Shaq... I mean, I guess it is, like, kind of sad because Penny just, like, withered away.
Penny who?
Penny Hardaway.
Oh.
Remember the Orlando Magic?
I do. Whoa.
With Little Penny, Chris Rock voicing that doll.
Damn. Whoa.
Before Chris Rock was Chris Rock.
Whoa.
And he was just the voice of a doll.
Is his brother Anthony?
No, that's his name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Anthony, but his nickname was Penny. Because nobody could say Anthony.
Anthony Hardaway.
Yeah. Well, like, so that 30 for 30 is all about how the Orlando Magic got 2 number
Big
one
for
picks.
the britches?
No, they got 2 number one picks 2 years in a row. Because I think that was when they first started doing the, like, lottery ping pong ball thing. Have you ever seen that? So, like, the bottom 8 teams, like, you get, the bottom 8 teams get, you know, so the bottom, it's hard to figure out how to word it. So, like, the 8th team, right, of the bottom 8 gets X amount. So, say 4 balls. Then 7 gets 6, so on and so forth. So by the time you're the bottom of the barrel, you've got like 20 something. So your odds are greater.
Okay.
But somehow the Magic, both two years in a row, they weren't at the bottom, and yet their ping pong ball came up for number 1. And they were able to get Shaq.
Damn.
And so they drafted Shaq, and then Penny Hardaway, even though he wasn't the best player, you know, in the draft that most people were saying, he like worked out with Shaq and he did all this stuff to make sure he would get picked by the Magic, because he was good, but he just wasn't, like, there were other people in the draft that people, like, sports people thought was better.
Did he make the most sense complementarily to Shaq?
Probably,
is that what it is?
yeah.
And they were just like, yeah, because it's not like they would need another big dude.
Right. And I think maybe it was like when he was like scrimmaging with him and stuff like that, he was just giving the ball up to him all the time. And Shaq's probably like, yeah, man, I like that. He gives me the ball, yeah.
So Shaq was the reason Anthony Hardaway got to the NBA. Explained.
And he's the reason why he sucked afterwards.
Oh, Kazam.
I mean, when they were interviewing him, Penny Hardaway was like, man, I was so mad when I saw Shaq and Kobe, because he's like, that's supposed to be me. Kobe's supposed to be me.
Did he ever win anything?
Penny Hardaway? No. He got hurt. Like, once Shaq left, he was the guy, and he couldn't stay healthy.
When did Shaq leave Orlando?
90-something?
Like late 90s?
Yeah. But yeah. So that one wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah, you're like, oh, I feel sorry for Penny Hardaway a little bit, but
Does he have all his money and stuff?
I don't know. His hair looked painted on, so.
Oh no. That could be either way.
I mean, it could have been like there's so much grease and stuff, like, because he had like the wave thing. So like maybe he just greases it up so much that it looked painted on, but it looked like a Sharpie. Someone took a Sharpie to line it up.
They did something to fucking Jim Jeffries' fucking head, man, because like he's balding really bad, like where you get the thing in front,
right?
Just the island, and for a while he's been like doing that pompadour push forward thing. So like on his last couple specials, you could fucking see it real good. And on that new talk show he has, it's just like a perfect tuft he's got now, and I'm like, I just stare at it whenever I see clips online. Because I'm looking for the shine on it where they're like spraying that black shit on it, or I'm looking for like something sewn in. I don't know. I mean, he's rich enough to get good hair transplant by now, I guess, if it exists. It's better than it was. Oh, we got... So here, I'm going to pretend like we have people who watch who don't live in Chicago, but around Chicago there are 20 billboards with Brian Urlacher like this. And then he's got hair now. Full.
Okay, so this is... He was... When those first came out, he was on like a lot of the local news station morning shows.
Like bragging about his...
Like, I think...
His store-bought head.
Here's the thing. Brian Urlacher was never really bald. He was bald by choice. Like, he shaved his head.
But
if you look at those pictures, it's still there. It's like he just grew his hair out, and then they combed it like this, because this side you can still tell that's his original 2001 Bears hairline.
He was balding. I remember you could see the trim line, you can see the dark line, and he had an island going, deep rivets.
He had a receding hairline, but he didn't have anything in the back. Like, he didn't, right? So to me, it looks like, especially when I see those pictures, he just let his hair grow out. Like, he stopped shaving his head bald.
Exposed.
And they're marketing this as... There was a company in Florida who tried to use the same pictures for their company, and he sued them because he was using... I guess he was like, I'm only going to do this with your company.
Sure.
So...
Well, that makes sense, right? It's not.
And I feel like when they were interviewing him, he was just like, well, I never really was bald.
Damn, exposed. Conspiracy.
So, I mean... The company is called Restore. So if you're looking,
if you want to bring them down, chop them off with the knees,
or if you're looking to get your hair, get new hair,
redid is the term.
Probably don't use Restore, because they're just lying to you.
Restore.
They're getting ridiculous now too, like. Because before it was just like that one, and now like now they have him in suits, and now they have, but it's the same thing. It's like looks like a weird comb over this part, but you still see the receding hairline on the other side. So it's like
you got quite the encroachment on your whole hairline is like super close. I realized.
Yeah.
My forehead is like 3 times the size of yours. Maybe it doesn't look like it on camera, but I've always had this crazy hairline that just doesn't follow any rules. See that?
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't adhere to man's law.
True.
Which makes sense, you know? Sorry, I could do that for another half hour, but okay, besides getting to move the pucker around, follow the camera, what else was cool at the hockey one? Because that's obviously the one I'm most interested in.
I don't remember, because it was a long time ago.
Drinking the old
Royal Crown Cola.
I almost bought some Royal Crown yesterday. I went to the store and bought 4 cases of LaCroix, however you'd like to pronounce it, yesterday. But I didn't get any pop. I just new aged it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they would have just loaded up a cooler full of sugar. Then we barely had any beer either. There were 6 beers brought in.
All drank by the person who brought them.
No, he took one home. Shout out. Shout out to everyone at the barbecue.
But you didn't get everybody's favorite flavor of LaCroix, which was coconut.
I had 6 different flavors of fucking LaCroix. The only one anyone wanted was coconut. My mom, the birthday person especially.
It's okay, the coconut one.
It's alright. Yeah, I looked at it and I went, yeah, not today.
My favorite is peach pear.
Peach pear is definitely not my favorite. I like lime and lemon.
You would like lime and lemon.
I know you don't like citrus. And then I like the grapefruit one is pretty good.
Which is also citrus. So the 3 ones I probably would never drink. Or rarely drink. Unless I was in a pinch. And I couldn't find a hose somewhere to drink hose
water.
water.
If I couldn't find stagnant water anywhere, I'd open up this can of LaCroix. Take the dysentery over bubbles.
Kelly hates coconut with a passion.
There you go. All coconut or coconut LaCroix?
Coconut LaCroix.
I don't think I hate any of them. You know? I think that's a little strong for bubbled water.
She has something against the artificial coconut flavor.
Is it artificial?
I would assume so.
Well, the rest of them say natural, specifically. So that would be quite a turnaround for coconut to be arty, don't you think?
Maybe that's why she doesn't like
artificial. It. Artif.
Maybe that's why she doesn't like it.
I don't think that's true. I think that's kind of like the honey sauce at KFC.
Even though it's
Am I right?
fire.
Honey sauce. Am I right?
That was fire sauce, just FYI. I don't want you to feel.
Honey sauce.
Honey sauce at KFC and Popeyes, apparently.
I went to KFC the other day. Just wanted one of those bowls. That's all I wanted was a bowl, man. Just a KFC bowl, pre-made, chicken, mashed potatoes, corn, gravy.
And cheese.
Cheese.
I've never had one of those. Those look disgusting to me.
It's good. It's great. It's one of the best things they have. And of course they were out, she's like, oh, we just got, so the last one they had made or got shipped to them or whatever the fudge. Oh yeah, they assembled them there because, so then I looked through the whole thing, I'm like, oh, and I was set on that, but I was super hungry. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get popcorn chicken. The reason they don't have the bowl, because the popcorn chicken are in there and they don't have that. But she didn't say that. She was like, we only don't have the bowl, that one thing you wanted. So I got 2 times. I ended up getting a small macaroni for the person I was with, and I didn't get shit. But I did eat some of the macaroni. I don't want to give a false.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of KFC sides.
You always sides. Whoa, came back around, huh? So you are a fan of their chicken. What kind, and piece?
Original recipe, I guess thigh.
Thigh, what?
Thigh or leg. I'm a dark.
I like
meat
legs. I like legs because you get skin on every bite, basically, and it's like the perfect.
I can live with the original recipe because it's not like super crunchy or heavily breaded. It's still kind of like.
Yeah, it definitely is. Their breading is like lighter, but I don't know. It's not moister though.
So like that extra crispy is like, and that's why I think I don't like Popeyes because of how crispy. I feel like it's just extra. I don't want that. Like,
I like extra breading and blah blah blah.
I like my chicken skin.
So what chicken do you get then? Because at your parents always get Popeyes.
I just take the skin off.
You still get Popeyes?
Yeah.
But just don't eat the skin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if you're going to get chicken, you're going to Popeyes?
I'm
back
probably
in the day,
going
I
to Boston Market.
Browns. Boston Market. I don't know if I've ever even had chicken at Boston Market.
Really?
Yeah, always the turkey dinners, or they have like brisket. No, not
meatloaf.
Meatloaf I've had. I thought they have some sort of like beef that's like.
Because we used to eat it when it was Boston Chicken before it was Boston Market.
When was that?
A long ass time ago.
Dude, Boston Markets have been around a long time.
So it was just called Boston Chicken, and that's all they had was chicken. So they didn't have turkey or meatloaf or anything like that. It was once they switched over to Boston Market, that's when they started selling the other stuff.
Boston Market's pretty damn good.
I like the last time we had it though, like the gravy tasted weird to me, like, but the mashed potatoes tasted like they had always tasted. So I was like, okay, I can live with the gravy tasting a little like off. But I mean, if you're gonna say, I'm definitely getting Popeyes mashed potatoes and gravy. I'm probably getting Boston Market chicken. And I'm probably going to get a KFC biscuit.
Yeah, the biscuits I'm wondering about. I think Popeyes biscuits aren't good.
They're good, but they're like dense.
Are they drier?
Yeah. And like KFC's biscuits are like little pillows, little clouds.
They're very, yeah.
I mean, I like cornbread. I like the cornbread at Boston Market, but because they don't do biscuits, they do cornbread.
Because it's got butter on it and stuff.
And it's kind of sweet. It's a little. Of what? Of what? Blind taste test of what?
Coke
of biscuits?
Max. Coke Max.
Oh yeah, we still gotta do that. We should set that up for next week. I definitely you get like Pepsi Max because that's all the 0 calorie colas. We'll get a whole bunch of them. We'll do a little cola lineup.
Okay, but you're saying that like you could do this anytime?
Pretty much, yeah.
All I'm saying is like you can't drink a bunch of it this week and get your taste receptors up and then
I
be
probably
like,
won't drink any of it.
All right, good.
Week.
It's got to be like put a bunch in front of you and then you're.
Yeah, for sure.
Just based on old time memory, since it's so distinctive.
I also feel like a biscuit.
Distinctive.
A biscuit one wouldn't be fair because they're all three of them are so different.
Very different. Well, you could break them up just like into crumbles and get the essence.
There's a Japanese show that I watch, and so they're like comedians, right? And it's like straight man, whatever. That's like really common in Japanese comedy. It's like this like old 1950s idea of what comedy is, right? They still do that. And so they have a bunch of them get together and for 24 hours they can't laugh. But they do some sort of training. So like this last year, and this is how they celebrate New Year's. So it's a 5-hour show. And they're doing these trainings. Technically it's 24 hours, right? But they cut it down to 5 hours. And they do like a training. So like this past one, they were going to be scientists. So they take them to a university, and do labs but the people who are in charge of the show are bringing other comedians on and doing all this other stuff to get them to laugh, because if they laugh, they have people that come with like foam bats and like hit them. And so that's the whole premise of the show. But when they're not doing that, they just have a regular talk show that they do different things. And one of the things is they'll take 20 different types of chocolate.
Dang.
Okay? And they blindfold one of the guys. And they randomly pick from the 10 or whatever piece of chocolate. And they'll give it to him. He's blindfolded. And like they smash it up, and so he can't tell. Like, okay, it feels like this, right? And they feed it to him, and so he's like, "All right, I'm good." And so then he goes to all the different chocolates, and he'll taste it, and he has to like say whether or not it's right or wrong. And he like, if it's wrong, if he doesn't think it's the one they gave him, he throws it away. If he gets it wrong, he gets punished. Like. And they usually have some like weird ass contraption that like will like slap them or something. I think they had he had like a bow and arrow once was like, but the arrow had like a fist, and then like so it was pretty funny. But that's the whole premise of the show, and so that's what kind of reminded me of that. Like you could smash it up, but I still feel like a Popeye's biscuits texture is still so much different than a KFC's texture.
You would need a lot of biscuits. We would need a Brown's biscuit. We would need... You're right, because the cornbread's just too different. You wouldn't even be able to... Right. Okay, so Brown's back in the day was really crispy, good amount of breading there. Like, I really liked them back in the day. And then what did they have for sides? I feel like they had good-ass sides.
They had weird sides, like spaghetti.
I never
or like
that.
macaroni. Macaroni. Hey, macaroni. I think I never bought Brown's Chicken because of the whole Brown's Chicken massacre.
Oh! You never wanted to return to the scene of the crime.
Right. Even though I don't think I was born when that happened, or were we? Were we alive?
Yeah, it was like 1993.
Was it?
I feel like.
And it was like out in the suburbs too, like Wheaton or something. But yeah, you guys
Wheaton.
always had we would have fried chicken at your place.
It was in Elmo Park. Yeah, it was on Grand right there. Oh man! So you would smell it too, pass by it all the time.
Didn't they have like fried mushrooms and things like that?
Yeah, Brown's almost got a little too like A&W-y. They're weird era of A&W. Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
I like A&W.
I don't know. Like their burgers.
I never got a burger. I'd always get like a Coney dog or something like that. But you'd only go there.
I don't enjoy Sonic
to get
either.
A root beer float. That was like you would put up with
the A&W.
You would put up with the crappy food. Kind of like Dairy Queen. Sometimes you like
shitty.
You'll put up with the hot eats for the cool treats. You don't like Sonic?
I've had their hot dog.
Yeah, the tots are good, and like their shakes and slushies are good.
Yeah, I want to get a shake, but I haven't. Those look good.
But like burgers and hot dogs, it's just whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Those ones that the burgers are they almost feel like they're boiled. And they're thicker than like a shitty McDonald's burger, just slightly, but they're just tasteless and nasty. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Chicken. Then there's Harold's Chicken downtown. I've only had that once in like my life. A long time ago.
Adolphus really liked Harold's, and so like there are times when we'd have like science fair projects or something like that, history fair projects, and we'd go to his house, and so he'd always like make his mom.
Good.
I mean, it's like it's fried chicken. They put like hot sauce or barbecue sauce on it.
I remember that. Yeah.
And they give you slices of white bread. So I actually saw one out in Schaumburg.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was really confused.
Next to Kuma's.
No, it was near, but it was like in a strip mall.
Do you want to go eat in an old Panera Bread that's now called Kuma's? 3 or whatever the fuck. Well, go to Schaumburg.
Kuma's 2.
They're Kumas too?
Yeah.
And the other one is the third?
What's the other one?
There's one in Lincoln Park now.
Oh,
I think it came before Schaumburg, actually.
It might
but
have,
I could be
think,
wrong.
I think they call it Kuma's Too. T-O-O.
Oh, right.
Like Kuma's also. This is also
Kuma's as
Kuma's.
well.
The food's the same. It's just the ambiance is different.
Oh god, it's so bad. It's so bad. You're like just in that big open space with like a center
bar.
Yeah, and it's just and the food.
I'm not a big fan of pretzel buns, so Kuma's never really appeals to me.
Me neither. I never got the pretzel bun. I don't know if you ever and they used to have waffle fries back in the day, which were fucking terrible, and everyone knows it, and even their menu alludes to it. So how did you start with terrible ass fries in the first place?
Because everybody was, ooh, pretzel buns. Oh.
Pretzel buns.
Pretzel buns.
Buddy.
Pretzel buns, bud.
I watched comedy special of Pauly Shore's from 1992, and it was fucking terrible. Holy fuck. What a great example. I think one of the great first examples it looks like to me of someone being famous for absolutely no reason. He was in like the short shorts, combat boots with like blue frilly socks. He had his
He's really pushing his
broy thing.
Documentary that he did about his life and some other film he's doing.
Are you talking about Pauly Shore's Dead?
Yeah, Pauly Shore's Dead.
Or did he do an actual documentary?
He's doing another. Yeah, he did another documentary.
Because I watched part of that Pauly Shore's Dead because it came on like YouTube after the comedy special. That was the next thing up. So I did watch some of it, but then I was like in and out. I'm gonna turn around and watch it again.
But it's just like he's really trying to push all that stuff because he was big. I will admit.
Fucking huge. That's what I'm saying.
But I feel like he wasn't as big as he makes himself out to be.
The comedy special is literally him just fucking, hey, how you doing, buddy? And then fucking like the whole stadium or the whole theater he's in, it's a lot of fucking people. I don't know where he's at. Goes fucking crazy. 80% of them women. He was fucking huge.
But I feel like the movies weren't good. And so that's one of the reasons why he doesn't have a career now is because the movies
say?
Like he was talking about like how Biodome and Jury Duty and stuff like that, they're all like they have cult followings now, but at the time they were not commercial successes, and that's why, you know, I mean, I remember as a kid watching Biodome like a million times on WGN on Saturday mornings because that's where they play all the crappy movies. You can watch that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Belushi, Jim Belushi, not John Belushi.
Whoa!
Have you ever seen that movie, Red Heat or something like that?
That's another TBS, TNT,
WGN Saturday
feature.
morning, Sunday morning movie.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I've never seen
Russian,
the whole thing.
Russian cop.
I just remember
trying to find.
Wait, Jim Belushi? Oh, I keep.
Yeah, Jim Belushi, the one
Dan
that's alive.
Aykroyd.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's following like some drug dude from Russia to Chicago of all places.
They just were making movies like crazy in Chicago in the 80s.
Yeah, and Jim Belushi's like a cop. Chicago cop, and they team up together to try to get this guy. Hilarity ensues. Schwarzenegger probably says, "Get down," or put the cocaine down.
So I mean, as far as if it's as good as his masterpiece Sixth Day, what do you think?
No, I don't think so. That's a great movie.
On a 1 to 10 6-day scale, what do you think it is? How close to being as good
as Sixth Day?
Like a 4 or 5?
It's like a 4 or 5. I mean, it's like it's a typical late 80s.
Eating my birthday cake.
It's not a Duma. Put the cookie down. He's in my house, eating my cookies.
My birthday cake.
He's
That's not how it goes. Is that how it goes, the cookie thing? Does he say, in my house eating my cookies? And then he says it again in Sixth Day? Is that a direct...
Jingle All the Way?
So he says that in Jingle All the Way. Okay, because he says that in Sixth Day. He says, why is that thing in my house eating my birthday cake with, my family? Right. Holy shit. You think they were referencing?
They had to.
Birthday cake is way better than cookies. Birthday cake.
Put the cookie down. Your wife's cookies are so good. Put the cookie down.
What was wrong with the cookies in that movie?
It was because Phil Hartman was like trying to hit on his wife the whole time.
No.
Because she's like, oh, she's up in the shower. You want me to go check? No! I mean, no.
Poor Arnold. For all of his muscles, so insecure,
He's in my house, eating my cookies.
Putting
the star on my tree.
Oh yeah, no, and there's like grabbing my wife's ass because they're in like the garage or something. He sees his wife making out with the clone, getting down, smoking illegal Cuban cigars. Oh no, smoking is illegal. That's what it is. It's not that it's Cuban, but smoking tobacco is illegal, and they have the cigar.
I totally forgot that movie. Besides, like when him and the clone are doing the science project. I don't know what the hell they're doing, and it like burns, and then they're both like cool, but it's like in stereo, like cool. Like you don't remember that part?
Cool. Yeah, but that's not Sixth Day.
It is. How could it not be if it's Arnold and his clone?
Cool.
I don't think he made any other clone movies in his 40s.
He wasn't his own twin anywhere. Come on, think hard.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right, well, yeah, it must be from there. Cool. I obviously remember that.
Cool.
Science experiment. What would they be messing with?
Because weren't they like trying to take down the place he worked for or something? Didn't he work for that place? I don't know.
So they take his info without his knowledge. They're like, oh yeah, we're giving you a screening, and then they take his eyes, shit, and then he goes and he flies a helicopter with his friend, and then he wakes up in a car a little while later. So they end up killing his friend during that point, and they've already taken his DNA. Then they think he's dead. For some reason, something went wrong, and they think he's already dead. But then the clone gets sent to the house and all that. He goes and picks up another repet, which is the dog. So they have the whole pet thing going, the fake dog, and then comes back to the house. And then he's just obviously like, what the hell, and just wants to kill the scientist or whatever, or kill the,
Right.
Obviously, stop the madness.
I feel like he works with the clone to do that.
Yeah, they work together then because.
Yeah, and they're like trying to figure out like a bomb or something.
Yeah, what would they be figuring out? That's what I'm trying to... Because like, the scientists know everything, and then you have the old guy he's like the main one, and his wife is a clone. He keeps recloning her, and then she's like, I just want to die, and then he's like, oh, and then cool.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is he the greatest actor of our generation? It's like Tom Hanks, Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody else.
The Rock.
The Rock. No, never. Pauly Shore is number 3.
Dude, that special was bizarre. It was crazy. And I don't know, I never saw any of those MTV Pauly Shore clips while we were growing up. I mean, I never really was into MTV when we were little.
Right.
I don't think I started watching MTV till we were probably like 8 to 10. Christina Aguilera. What else would have been out then? Music video.
It just feels really kind of sad, though. For him.
For who?
For
Arnold?
Pauly Shore.
Oh.
Because, like, the 2 or 3 podcasts I've listened to with him on it, it's just like, he just, I don't know. I guess it's hard to not listen to what he says and take it as, like, he's just blowing smoke up his butt. You know? And
Okay,
just,
right.
Like,
you feel bad
I was
for
so
him.
big,
right.
you know? And
His
so
own
you feel
inflated
bad for
sense
him
of
because
self.
it's like, this is what your life has turned into, like, constantly just talking about how
it used
big
to
you
be.
were.
Yeah.
And
Which isn't too uncommon, I guess. He's just a very, like, now, well, he's coming around more, so it's a public example of it, all of a sudden.
And so it's kind of like he's just, like, trying to grasp to anything. So he's just, like, really pushing these documentaries that he's doing. He's pushing the Funny or Die video that he did.
I've got to
where he's
watch the
making fun of-
Rogan one. Like, I only watched maybe a half hour of it
Yeah.
or something. Because I thought he addresses that, doesn't he? About what happened or something?
He does. I mean, he kind of.
Maybe suck, bruh.
He talks about how he signed this 3-movie deal with Disney, and he didn't listen to and then when he on the Bobby Lee podcast, he's talking about like, well, I just didn't really like listen to my managers and stuff like that. They were telling me to do one thing and I didn't do it, and maybe that is in tow with what he was talking about with the Disney deal. And like how he wanted to do this other movie, but whatever. Disney bought the script and then shelved it so that he couldn't do it. So that he would have to do whatever that 3rd movie was that they wanted him to do. But yeah.
Well, isn't he just basically a child star? Now that I think about it, because wasn't he in movies and shit when he was little? I thought
No,
I think so.
when he was in his 20s.
No, I think as a kid he was in stuff because he lived in LA or Hollywood, wherever that's at the Comedy Store. I'm pretty sure he was in films. So if he's a child, let's just say he's a child star, he's just that goes along pretty well. I'd say at the end these people are just fucking broken, empty. I used to be some. None of them turn out very awesome. Pauly Shore, child movie. I don't know. Is he in? Oh, let's just do movies. It'll list all of them even when he's little, right?
Mm-hmm.
Casper, a Goofy movie. Keeps. Let's see. These aren't anything old. 1989. Extremely Goofy movie. Dr. Dolittle, not even the original. $1 Million Mutts.
Just did like a voiceover for that.
The Princess and the Barrio Boy. Pauly Shore Adopted, which has him holding 2 black children looking like... There's nothing that goes back far though, but I mean that's obviously not everything.
For Keeps is like the oldest one, 1988.
Dang, for Keeps, yeah, he was already old-ish by then.
Yeah,
I feel like. Oh, don't you just look people up on IMDb? Isn't that what you do?
you can.
And then that shows you everything. We're going Google free. Going Google free today. Oh my God, name Montgomery Shore.
What?
His name was Montgomery.
Not Paul.
Oh, shoot. Holy Moses. Alright, keep going. 21 Jump Street, 1987. Okay. Maybe you're right, too.
So he did like a guest appearance on
Biodome was 96.
21 Jump Street. But even Biodome wasn't like commercially successful.
Really? We just knew it because of WGN.
And we probably knew it because we were the perfect demographic.
I don't know. I don't ever really remember Pauly Shore as a kid.
Really?
Like, I wouldn't, like, knowing that Goofy's Pauly Shore, that makes sense now, and I remember it kind of, but not really. Pauly Shore was a non-factor. I even remember kind of those billboards, Pauly Shore is dead. Like, I kind of remember that. Because that would have been 97, 98 or something when it came out, I feel like. Oh, I should have just seen it right there, right?
I feel like Encino Man was popular. Like I maybe I just saw a lot of Pauly Shore movies.
Well, Pauly Shore's that was 2003.
So like, you have Encino Man, you had Son-in-Law.
He's got Married with Children. Probably the best thing he ever did. Yeah, Encino Man, Class Act, Son-in-Law, Bobby's World.
Oh, Class Act. Yeah, I've seen that. That's what Two Black Kid and Play,
Jury
right?
Duty, Biodome, Beverly Hills 90210, King of the Hill. Wow, there's a lot of Goofy movies. Bucky Larson.
I remember that, and that was kind of like the end.
Nick Swartzen. I never saw it, but yeah, I remember it.
He even talked about it, like how he was on set for a few different Adam Sandler movies, and how he was just like, it was just weird for him because he wasn't the lead guy.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's like, don't get me wrong, I want to, I'm happy that I'm working and I love to act and I love to do this. It just felt weird because I wasn't the lead. Okay.
That's funny.
Anything else? No? Should we call it?
What's your status?
I haven't been doing it. I tried this week and then I didn't plan. I don't think I planned well enough, but I think this week I'll be able to get back on track.
Let's run through everything we ate yesterday. So we had we had ribs. Those are pork ribs. Those are pretty good. Crock pot for like 6-7 hours, and then I broiled them in the oven. They're all right. What else? We had burgers. Did you have a bun?
I did have a bun.
Naturally, I wouldn't eat a burger by itself either.
It's not the greatest.
We had burgers. We had. I'm just drawing blanks all over. Kale salad with tempeh, which tempeh is fermented tofu protein source, and it was marinated, and that had like heirloom tomatoes and shit. Quinoa, apple almond quinoa, guacamole, chips, French dip and chips. That hell of a good. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I had some more ones that were on left. I actually just started eating. I started with an appetizer, I had some chips, then I had the rest of the ribs after that. What else did we eat?
There was fruit, and there was like a caprese salad on a stick.
Well, I didn't have any of that.
Yeah, your sister made that.
A German chocolate cake, which was
lime
good.
bars.
Oof. And then lime bars. Square bars. Ooh. You ever beat a square bar? Was that the cake? I thought we ate like more dessert, but that must have been it.
No, I think that was it. Yeah. We had like Chicago mix popcorn.
Oh yeah, that was good. I had some of that when everyone left.
For everybody who doesn't live in Chicago, who's watching, which is nobody.
We keep pretending no one's good.
Chicago mix is cheddar, popcorn, and caramel corn mixed together.
Yep, and so good. You wouldn't think caramel and cheddar would go,
but they do.
They really, really do.
Made famous by Garrett's Popcorn downtown, and now they're just like this huge conglomerate. You can find them in malls and the airport and everything.
Yeah, they got Hollywood. They went Cinnabon.
Yeah, but Cinnabon's good too.
I could go for Cinnabon. I haven't had a Cinnabon in like over a year, guaranteed.
Go to the Hip. They got Cinnabon.
I know there's one there. That's the only one I know that's really anywhere. Oh, there's one in Yorktown or whatever, that Oprah Mall by me.
Yeah.
You ever have something in a Kringle, Wisconsin?
Okay.
Basically just a donut that's like this big.
Right.
It comes in a tray, and it's that big, and it actually is filled with custard somehow, and then it's got cream on top somehow. It's fucking huge. Like you just cut it into pieces. They sell them at the truck stop. I don't know. It's like just a big donut because there's so much custard in it.
If you're on the far southwest side, on Archer Avenue, Archer and like Harlem, Narragansett, Weber's Bakery, they make the best coffee cake. And they have like all different kinds. And the one I got.
The coffee cake is like a flat pastry, right, with all the crazy fixings on it. And
sometimes it's just plain. It's just like it has like a glaze on it or something. It's thin though.
Okay, it is thinner, right?
And one of the teachers at my old school would bring it for like teacher parent conference because we would just have like a potluck, and so he would bring it. And like a couple times, like just the plain coffee cake is good, but then he would get this one with like cream cheese in the middle and like piled with fresh strawberries and goop, whatever that goop is that they put strawberries in. And I was like, oh. So like I had to get like a drug test and stuff, and they only had 2 locations to do it. All of Chicago public schools. 2 locations, both on the south side.
Yeah, awesome.
And so I'm like down there, I'm like 55th and Pulaski. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go down and I'm a little early. I'm gonna go down and get that. So I got 2 of them, and I brought one to her at work, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's so good!" And then I pretty much ate a whole one by myself. She might have had like a slice of it, but like I got home and I had some, and I left. And then like I came home and I had, but that was like all I ate all day. But yeah, it's really good. You can come over.
I used to park the truck on like 38th and Pulaski. There's a couple, right, like you said, 55th. Somewhere in between there on Pulaski is like Las Asadas and a lot of good Mexican places.
Like Zacatacos is really
right.
good.
Yeah, that's one I looked up too. Yep, those are the 2 right over there.
Yeah.
They were like. And then I think I didn't go over there enough while I was working, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I would have more. Because I don't feel like driving over there to get it now.
True. She doesn't want to come by.
She's got her little sword fight poncho on. She's a gladiator.
But yeah, so I'm hoping that this week I'll be able to get back on track. And I'll make sure I weigh myself
before the next.
Before, yeah. And we should have time to do the real deal Holyfield, not live stream.
What's your gut? Where do you think you're at? You're at 315 or more?
I'm probably more, I would say, because I was walking every day and it was kind of evening everything out. But then she went to Canada with Melissa, and so I wasn't walking.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to get stuff done for work, but I definitely wasn't walking. And then the next week after that, it was like a bunch of days I had to spend like going to the doctor and all this stuff like that. So I didn't get as many days in. And then like last week I was sitting at school all day, like teacher meetings. So I feel like probably I've gone. But though last week I would try to do fasting and keto, and then like something would happen, like, and I'm just like, no, it's not gonna happen. Like she went on business to Dallas for a day, and like I was good the whole day. And then like picking her up and coming home, and I'm looking at the time. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get home and cook dinner without without really screwing up her schedule. So I'm just like, all right, I gotta just stop someplace. And then I think the other day we were just so tired. It was just like, what can we eat? And then we just like ordered pizza. So I was like, I was doing good. I would do good for like the whole day, and then I would like ruin it at the end. So I'm hoping it's going to be more consistent for this week, that we can do it right. Right?
Do it right. Do it right. I do it right. I do it right. I do it right. Yeah.
So, but I still think the goal should just be 300. And
yeah. Even if you went up, I don't know, you seem to just go right back down when you retake the task. Oh, and I was going to ask, does it seem like the school is a bunch of people that stock the room with like pastries and stuff?
No, so that's going to be good.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah. They did have like the one day that they had stuff, because usually when you come back, the administration likes to do something, give you breakfast or something like that, and like most of the time they like cater, and like so there'll be like little breakfast burritos and things like that. But this school just got a bunch of bagels, so I'm just like, oh, I guess I'm not gonna eat. I was like thinking like maybe I could just spoon some cream cheese on a plate and just eat that, but I was fine. So I was like, I'm not gonna even deal with that right now. So just like, but it kind of bit me in the butt, so I gotta prep better. I found these keto pizzas where the crust is actually a piece of chicken breast.
Oh, man.
And like Parmesan cheese. So, and then they put it was pretty good. I just have to like, the lady when I was buying them, she was like, just FYI, if you're gonna cook it in the microwave and then heat it in a pan, because then the crust gets crispier. But I think if you want to look for them and try them, it's like Real Good Food Company. You can order them online, but I wanted to try them out first, and then they have breakfast versions too. I'm gonna probably order once I finish eating these. I got like a few of them, but because the more you buy, the cheaper they are.
Did you feel like you were eating a pizza?
Yeah,
I feel like you're eating chicken covered with cheese.
No, it does taste like pizza.
That's cool.
I mean, I didn't crisp it up, I put it in the toaster oven. I figured, oh, that'll crisp it up just fine. But maybe by the end of it, I could tell that it wasn't crust. But like the first couple bites, you're just like, oh yeah, it tastes like pizza.
Right.
But after a while, then it was like, okay, this is. But they make individual ones, and then you could buy like a big, maybe 10-inch one too, which is I've never seen a chicken breast that big, but
yeah, like pounding that thing out or what?
Or like sewing them together or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty good. So I'm gonna probably order them because I think it's like 3. If you get 3 cases of them, it's a lot cheaper. And there's like 12 come in a case or something like that. So I wanted to get like some breakfast ones and some, regular pizza one, because I think right now I have Supreme and pepperoni. And I had tried the Supreme one. It was pretty good. So
we had corn yesterday too.
I didn't have any though.
I didn't either. All right.
All right. Say bye bye. No, bye bye.
Can't even see.
Bye bye. No. Okay.
Okay. Boop.